Have you ever found yourself wishing you could just, snap your fingers and have your house do things for you? Maybe save some money on those crazy energy bills without even trying? Well, that's exactly the promise of home automation. But the real question is it actually worth it?
I mean, let's be honest. Is turning your house into a smart home really worth all the cash and the hassle? It's this big debate, right? Convenience versus cost. And today, we're going to get to the bottom of it.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll nail down what a smart home even is. Then we'll dive right into the 4 biggest benefits. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of cost versus long-term value. And finally, we'll look at how you can actually get started.
Okay, first things first. What does it actually mean for a home to be smart? Because before we can decide if it's valuable, we really have to understand what this technology is all about. And trust me, it's come a long, long way.
So at its core, home automation is just the tech that lets you control stuff in your house. Lights, heat, security, you name it. Either on its own or from, say, your phone. The whole point is to make everything work together seamlessly, so your house is more efficient and, well, just easier to live in.
And it's pretty wild to see how far we've come. I mean, we started with basic remote controls, like for your garage door. Then we got those simple plug-in timers for lamps. But the real game changer? Voice assistants. The second Alexa and Google showed up, controlling your home became as easy as just talking. And now we're in the age of AI systems that actually learn your habits. It's kind of crazy.
All right, so we get what it is. But let's get to the important part. What's in it for you? What are the actual, tangible benefits of doing all this?
Well, when you really boil it all down, the value of a smart home comes from 4 key areas, 4 big promises.
And here they are. First, just plain old convenience and comfort, which, let's be real, is huge. Second, better energy efficiency, which means saving money. Third, seriously advanced security features. And fourth, something that's incredibly important, greater accessibility for everyone. Let's talk about the money for a second, because this is a big one. Just by using things like smart thermostats and smart lighting, you could cut your annual energy bills by anywhere from 10 to 25%. That is not a small number. Over a few years, that really adds up.
And when it comes to security, this quote just hits the nail on the head. The true value isn't just having an alarm that goes off. It's the peace of mind. It's being able to check on your front door when you're at the office, or getting an alert on your phone if a pipe leaks while you're on vacation. That constant connection to your home, you can't put a price on that. But of course, none of this stuff is free. And that's usually the big hurdle, right? So let's break down the numbers and look at the upfront investment versus what you actually get back over time.
The initial hit to your wallet can be all over the place. You could start small with a DIY setup for a few $100, or you could go all in with a professional system for $5,000 or more. But then, look at the returns. You've got those energy savings we just talked about, plus a lot of insurance companies will give you a discount, maybe 5 to 15% for smart security. And then, there's the kicker. It can actually increase your property value.
Yeah, you heard that right. A well-integrated smart home isn't just a cool feature. It's an asset. Real estate pros estimate it can boost your home's value by 3 to 5%. So you're not just spending money, you're actually investing it back into your biggest asset.
So the big question, when do you start seeing a return? Well, for most people, the break-even point, where your savings have officially paid off your initial investment, is somewhere between 2 and 5 years. And after that, it's all gravy, pure savings and added value.
Okay, let's say you're sold. You see the value. But where on earth do you even begin? This last part is all about the practical stuff, the 2 main roads you can take to kick off your smart home journey.
So, you basically got 2 choices. You can go to the do-it-yourself route. It's cheaper up front for sure, but you run the risk of buying a bunch of gadgets that don't play nicely together or even running into safety issues. The other option is to hire a pro. Yeah, it costs more, but you're guaranteed to get a system that works perfectly together, is totally safe, and comes with expert support when you need it. But no matter which path you choose, your homework is the same. You've got to start here. First, figure out your goals. What annoying problem are you trying to solve? Then, do your research on the big ecosystems, Team Alexa or Team Google. Step 3, take a hard look at your home's Wi-Fi and electrical setup. And finally, create a budget and a timeline you can actually stick to. And if you remember one thing from all this, let it be this. The best smart homes don't start with an online shopping spree. They start with a solid plan. That strategy is what makes the difference between a house full of cool gadgets and a truly intelligent home.
So, back to our big question. Is home automation worth it? Well, all the signs point to yes. When you plan it out, it's a solid investment in your comfort, your wallet, and your peace of mind. So now I'll turn the question back to you. If you could automate away just one daily hassle in your life, what would it be?